Welcome to the Calyrex Game Corner's Pokemon D&D campaign, featuring Cindy, a hot-headed teen with a penchant for arson, Gimli, an admirable father seeking to reunite his family, Elodie, a fun-loving baker with a whimsical heart, and Schmidt, a courageous young man searching for his purpose with a duck. Together, they make the Quacko Packo, and this is Dunsparce and Drampa. Where last we left the Quacko Packo, Elodie, Cindy, and Gimli were running various errands around Mauville City and were about to enter the Pokemon gym. Right before they were about to enter, they saw a mysterious figure burst through a glass window at the Mauville Sylph Company branch. With all of these strange happenings and chaos happening around, Gimli decided that it'd be appropriate for him to return to the berry farm just to keep an eye on things, while Cindy, Elodie, and Gimli continued into the gym to speak with Watson. But first, Schmidt, you are zooming in the early evening night sky outside of Mauville City to the west towards Cindy's grandparents' berry farm. You're on the back of Altaria, and you've got Quacko under your arm. You're zooming over there. Do you have any thoughts? Do you have any feelings? Is there anything you're looking out for? Are you making any checks?
Gosh, many thoughts, many feelings.
Okay.
Schmidt feels mostly disappointment that, one, he couldn't get to Sam, two, that Quacko got so hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointment in himself, mostly. It may be like some frustrated tears getting lost in the wind as he goes through. But besides that, he's just full booking it.
Understood. He can hear the sounds of helicopter blades whirring behind him, not close by, but off in the distance, as he is now flying over the river that separates Mauville from the route that the berry farm is on. And in a short matter of time, he arrives at the farm. Schmidt, you are able to land. Do you do so?
Yes.
Okay. Schmidt, you observe that Gimli's here. Gimli's just kind of standing outside looking around. He sees you land and he gives a wave. He said, "Oh, how's it going, Schmidt? Where have you been?"
I kind of almost hard crash land.
Uh-huh.
Like return Altaria before I land, and then Schmidt just kind of dives to the ground a little bit with Quacko tucked under his arms, and he's running up like Quacko's hurt, Quacko's hurt, Quacko's hurt.
Okay. This kind of puts Gimli in experienced trainer mode, and his disposition changes, and he says, "All right, Schmidt, what can I do to help?" And he opens up his bag that has not many things in it. It seems like that he left quite a bit inside Granite Cave. He's rummaging through it. What can he do to help you?
Quacko needs HP.
He pulls out a citrus berry. Will you feed it to Quacko?
Yes.
Okay. Quacko can heal. What's Quacko's HP total?
Total is 97.
Okay. Quacko can heal either a quarter of it, or you can roll 4d10 plus 9.
Roll.
Okay.
19 plus 9, you said? 28? Yeah, I think that came out.
Yeah, more or less. That's pretty much spot on.
Okay.
And
Quacko's up.
Great. Okay. Cool. Quacko's back up. Gimli kind of gives you a confident nod, and he says, "You doing all right, bud? You look a little stressed out."
Schmidt is on the verge of a breakdown. He's like, "I couldn't do it. I went too hard and I couldn't. Quacko, he got hurt and I can't do it. I can't fucking do this anymore."
Damn. Yeah, Gimli will put his hand on your shoulder, trying to comfort you. He says, "It's all right, bud. Come on, let's get inside." And he ushers you to go inside. You join him?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like there's some leftover soup that Cindy made that's still on a simmer on the burner in the kitchen, and he asks you if you would like any, as he already grabs a bowl and a spoon. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll
Schmidt's
get you.
Still kind of he'll sit down and try to calm down, but he's still kind of shaking.
Yeah, that's fine. You have Quacko with you. Did you return Altaria when you entered, or is Altaria?
Yeah, I returned Altaria before I hit the ground.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very dramatic.
Yeah.
All right. Gimli sits down with you and gives you the soup. And he asks, "Well, what's going on, man? What can I do to help?"
Does Gimli know the whole story about Sam and everything yet?
You don't know. You can roll history.
I think Schmidt's just going to break down everything.
Okay, sure.
From meeting Sam to this, and then it's and I don't know, man. I got to talk to her again. I got to get closure for this or find out what's going on. Or is she a part of this? Is she a part of the evil team? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Gimli, throughout this whole explanation, he nods. He's pretty quiet. He's mostly just being a good listener. And, he encourages you to pick up your spoon every now and then and consume some of the soup between your recounting of the tales. And he says, yeah, I never met this woman, but based on what I've heard and what you just told me, it sounds like a really important person to you and to everyone who my dad's been hanging out with. And I think you'll see her again. I'm confident in that. He adds,
respond to that.
I don't know. He also adds, I'm sure that Mewtwo didn't lie to you as far as the vision that he gave you, but maybe it just wasn't the right time, or maybe it wasn't meant to be.
It's me. I couldn't get there. I wasn't strong enough.
He consoles you through this. He's saying, that's not true, and you did everything you could, et cetera, et cetera. He asks, well, based on what you told me, they might be looking for you. Are you trying to lay low, or are you trying to get back out there?
Yeah, lay low is probably a good idea for now.
Gimli says, all right, we can take care of the farm together while they're away. He hadn't previously told you that the party was gone. You probably could have assumed it, but do you have any reaction to this?
No, Schmidt's probably just in his own head too much right now to notice.
Okay, that is fine. Give me a wisdom roll for Schmidt and a charisma roll for Quacko.
I crit the wisdom.
Okay.
Quacko is negative in charisma, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Quacko got a 4.
Okay. This bro time with Gimli's son, and you just saying out loud what is on your mind, is helping you feel a lot better. And of course you're still super worried and you really want to see Sam and talk to her, but it's literally therapy, right? It's you're really the time that you spent holding the soup and just talking to a guy who's about your age, who's also been through a lot, who's also a powerful trainer. It feels good. Quacko is not really he's not being very comforting. He's a little distracted. He's he has his own.
He's probably still got shards of glass and shit in him.
Yeah, exactly. He has his own demons to fight, kind of. So he's
Quacko's demons.
Yeah, he's not doing the best. He's gonna give you a quack. Roll a duck perception, a duck interpretation.
Is that based off animal handling?
Yes, and we'll give you advantage.
I don't think I need it. I rolled the 19 on the first one.
Okay. With your 19 in interpreting what Quacko meant by that quack, you understand that he could use a little bit of a break, and he misses his child, Omelette.
Did I put Omelette in the PC, or do I still have Omelette on me?
That's for you to track.
I have the sheet here.
Okay.
I think I put Richie up when I caught Mewtwo, right?
That sounds correct.
Yeah. I think I'm meant to trade Omelette out later. We just haven't done it yet. Okay. Yeah. I will send out Omelette.
Okay.
And I'll make sure everyone else is souped up and healthy.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it's not necessarily a long rest, but
no, you can, it's definitely a short rest at least. Yeah, you can, that citrus berry equation, you can just do the same thing with everyone if you want. Everyone in your party. And before you do that, I want to ask, it's bro time with Gimli. He seems to wanting to be comforting you. He makes some propositions. He asks if you just want to hang out and he can start a fire. He asks if you want to set your mind aside and do some training to keep your mind off of things. Or he asks if you want him to show you around what he thinks are the cool books in the library. Do you have a choice out of those?
We could start a fire. Have some bro time with Gimli.
Okay, cool.
I think it's been a good while since Schmidt's had healthy bro time.
Yeah, I almost
never. I think his last bro was Nick.
Yeah.
Quacko's previous owner.
Yeah. So he'll get you situated in cozy blanket soup on the couch, puts together a fire, and Schmidt is doing his best, glassy-eyed, trying to unwind a bit. And you can heal your mons, and in the meantime, we can both go back to the group. You just won't be participating.
Yeah.
You all, being Elodie, Gimli, and Cindy, all heard some commotion and then witnessed a man atop a bird fly very quickly out from the Sylph Company building to the west. You're standing outside of Watson's gym. What do you do?
Do we go in to the gym?
You're welcome to roll insights, I guess, if you are trying to vibe check. Not for me to steer you in a direction, of course, but if, you're seeking more information. Or you can just make that decision yourselves.
Found a vibe check.
Okay, give me a vibe check.
12?
Well, okay. You think it's pretty likely that could be Schmidt. You know that he left out in a hurry, and if he was going to go anywhere, it was going to be based on the vision that was granted by Mewtwo, so yeah, could be. Either way, he's moving far and fast, so it's not like you can chase him down necessarily, but if you wanted to catch up with him, you potentially could, if you knew where he was going.
That is fair. There's probably not a world in which we could catch up with him. It might be
Unless
wise.
we could do we have somebody in the party who's loud? Like a Pokemon?
I mean, Grape Juice has Uproar?
That's correct.
Ooh, Soli could produce a fire pillar that Schmidt could see and follow.
Both signals.
So subtle.
I mean, I love the idea. I love the creativity, but like a giant pillar of fire in like the most populated city in the region might cause some problems.
It causes stir. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're trying to remain a little bit not so.
Yeah, a little anonymity would be pretty good.
Anonymity for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea where he could be heading. Which direction was it again? Sorry.
The direction that you all saw this shadowed figure going, riding atop an Altaria, is north, kind of in your direction, but on the other side of the courtyard, which again is, a half a mile across. It's quite large. Zooming past you like a rocket.
Right. Yeah, and I wanna check up on him. I wanna catch up, but I just don't know that it's possible for us.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Can't you launch Pokemon like Trebuchet, CJ?
Do I?
Yeah. Or like
No.
you have like Torkoal Cannon.
I guess. Yeah.
Take Lebowski and Torkoal and launch Lebowski.
I don't have Lebowski.
We have a thing. You can have Lebowski.
I don't think there's enough time for that. It's not all instant.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going fast, like, it's gonna be like, all right, now we have to get the thing out, and then we have to get the Pokemon from the transfer.
Right.
And you have
Yeah.
to set up the Trebuchet. That being said, though, I do want to exchange some Pokemon once we figure out what to do.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Schmidt? Hold on. I need to make some party swaps.
Hold on.
Priorities.
1 second right there.
Hold on.
You will one day become an Altaria. You must carry all of us.
Oh, yeah, get Blueberry out of there. Yeah.
North. What do we know that's north? The desert?
The desert is further north. He could be going to the desert.
It is northwest, not northwest, northeast, but Moss Deep, which was the other location that we saw we theorized to be the other location that we saw in the future site from Mewtwo, but we have even less of a chance of being able to meet him there than we do if he was going somewhere closer. He's going to Fortree to get that date with Winona.
That's actually it.
Urgently.
Yeah, everything.
Sam found him down, so now it's
Cash
going
out.
That's how much I don't know. I'm okay with just going into the gym unless anyone else can think of a way to.
No, I think I'm fine with it. Yep.
I mean, we could do, instead of fire pillar, smoke signals, which is a little less conspicuous because I would think, not that like there's smoke all over the place in Mauville, but like people be doing things and have fire Pokemon.
That would only be effective if we were ahead of his trajectory, which we are not.
Yeah, I think he's probably already passed us.
His back is turned to us. He's not going to see the smoke signals behind him.
Unfortunately.
So, do you stick around and watch? Do you make a smoke signal? Do you enter the gym?
Oh, we could watch which direction he ends up going, because if he's going like north, maybe he'll like pivot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it'll take us a few seconds. We can watch him.
Yeah, if it's possible, it's possible. Yeah.
Okay. I guess all three of you give me a perception. Just for, I'm gonna allot it in a unique way.
18?
Okay, Elodie, that's gonna be part 1 of this. Whoever gives me their next number is gonna be part 2, and then the last number is gonna be part 3.
10.
Okay.
19.
Okay. You all watch the shadow in the sky, who you assume is Schmidt, and Patricia the Altaria. If that is so, then Patricia's moving at speeds that you've never seen before. Very fast, Altaria, as commonly portrayed in media and other ones that you've seen, tend to be more delicate and fluffy and just kind of, do less flapping and more bouncing, perhaps. But no, this Patricia is screaming through the sky, if it is in fact Patricia. Based on Elodie's role, you see as Schmidt kind of vanishes over the distance, not over the horizon necessarily, but Mauville is full of tall buildings, and kind of you lose sight. You see off in the distance a large tower that, roll a quick history, Elodie.
That'll be 11.
Okay. Approximately close to a family's house that you kind of vaguely remember visiting on this route, Route 111. South of the desert, you see like a large tower, and that is right around where you lose sight of this man riding the bird. Gimli, with your perception roll, which indicates the next part of this watching, you see as various figures that are semi-bird-like are in pursuit. They're moving pretty fast, not as fast as the initial shadowy figure was. Assuming it is Schmidt and Patricia, they're giving chase. Based on the group's third roll, you're able to see pretty clearly as the figure, who's presumably Schmidt and Patricia, whips back around, heading this time southeast, and trailing several seconds behind are the pursuing shadowy-looking bird Pokemon, and they're not keeping good pace. And now Schmidt's direction is more east than anything.
Interesting.
The route, based on Elodie's map, would be Route 118.
Could be heading to the farm.
He says, yeah, he's going north, right? So
Yeah, originally, and then turned around and went southeast, and now more or less east. All in a
he
matter
could
of
be heading
minutes.
back to the
You're not, the turnaround was pretty quick. It wasn't like he went
So
too far
then,
off
if he's going
destination.
back to the farm, he will be aware that we came because we left Gimli behind.
Right. So, I mean, it's fine then, probably.
Yeah,
To
that's what I'm thinking.
leave him, be, because, Gimli can fill him in.
Right.
Okay, so what is the plan?
I think it's just to go to the gym.
Okay,
Sounds good.
that is what you're standing right outside of, so you all may enter. You do so, and you see a familiar-looking gym security guard in a super brand new looking room. This place is refurbished. None of the three of you have been in this particular gym before, but just based on all the other gyms you've been to, you can tell that this got some recent TLC. The person standing guard asks, "Oh wow, we got a group of 3. Are you all challenging the gym?"
We already been challenged the gym.
Do you flash your badge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
We're here to say what up to my homeboy Watson.
Let's go, Cindy. Roll charisma.
I forgot my actions could consequence. Just straight charisma.
Yeah.
5.
5. Very good. The security / gym greeter makes eye contact with both Gimli and Elodie and said, "Congrats on your child's gym badge, but I would ask that she has some decorum while in a place of such reverence for trainers."
We're so proud of her.
I mean, she did so well.
You guys are doing it? Okay. Yeah. Based on the situation, you don't need a deception because this security guard already assumes that you are the parents of Cindy. He makes eye contact with Elodie and asks specifically, "So what is the reason why you're here?" And is just ignoring Cindy.
We were actually hoping to speak with Watson about some very serious matters.
The security guard raises an eyebrow and asks, "Serious matters?" Well, he is entertaining a challenge right now, but I wasn't aware that he had any appointments. Can you give me any more information?
Well, we are the people who, helped bring power back to Mauville after there was a power surge not so long ago. So if you just let him know that the Quacko Paco is here to talk, he'll know who we are.
Okay, roll persuasion.
Dirty 20?
Oh, pretty good. He buys it. He actually isn't familiar with the Quacko Paco, but it sounds like a group of trainers that he's heard of before. And he says, "Okay, very well. You may just have to wait for his challenge to end, but you're welcome to enter the gym. You can go in through the back through the victor's exit if you like."
Sounds good.
Okay. He takes you to a door that he needs to use a badge to open. It goes beep and it opens up. And inside there is a moving walkway that transforms into an escalator that, again, transforms into a moving walkway. The security agent kind of flips a switch and it makes a whir and it starts reversing direction. That reverse direction is one that will take you forward, so to speak. Do you all get on this escalator / moving walkway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Who hasn't rolled in a bit? Gimli, give me just a good old perception.
7.
Cool. You were just in Mauville City, one of the largest metropolises in the Hoenn region. And it is unusual to you that it feels like you are now in a cave, just kind of out of nowhere. Very odd. But besides that, you don't notice anything in particular. You ride the escalator / moving walkway for a good minute or so. And then you wind up at, so none of you are familiar with this gym. None of you challenged Watson in this gym. But you turn the corner at the end of the escalator and you can witness a battle taking place. There's a little, you can either stand in the doorway of the threshold of the victor's entrance, or you can see to either side of you, there's passageway to get to stadium seating. Not like it's a large stadium, but it's a small battle arena. There's like 3 rows of seats of like maybe a dozen each on either side, but you can take a seat if you like, or you can just kind of wait in the threshold of the door. Up to you.
We can take a seat and watch.
Okay. I would like a straight D20 from Elodie, a charisma from Gimli, and a perception from Cindy.
12.
I crit the charisma.
Okay, nice.
16.
Okay. Very good. You all see as a strapping young trainer, probably 17 years of age or so, is engaged in combat with Watson. Watson has his sparking dog-like Pokemon, his ace, his Manectric, engaged in combat with a small little guy. Just this little unassuming orangish bug Pokemon that has some grayish colored scales, and it's got 2 decent sized mandibles that are about the same length as its body. That being said, it's a small little guy. It's just a tiny little guy. And this trainer seems to, if they had a trainer class, they may be a cool trainer. Younger is giving instructions. He says, "Come on, Helmet. I know you can do this. Go for a bug bite." And you witness as this little tiny bug leaps super high in the air and pinches itself right on Manectric's snout. It seems they're engaged in a heated combat, and perhaps they're both down to their last Pokemon. Based on your rolls, some time passes. There's an exchange of blows. Bug bite into Thunderbolt from the Manectric, into a defensive maneuver from the bug named Helmet, and then back to the Manectric, and eventually Watson emerges victorious. Where you are seated, you were at the back of this trainer, and Watson can see you, but he's not giving you much attention, but he did notice you were there. The battle ends, they exchange some words. You're welcome to listen in if you like, but does anyone care to eavesdrop, or do you just see the battle end and the battle's over? I guess I should ask what your next plan of action is.
Would it be in poor taste to tell the kid he did good?
That's up to you.
I don't think so. Just encouraging.
Okay. As they're when they're done talking, from what I can see, not that I'm trying to listen in, but when they're done talking, I'll stand up and be like, "Woo, good job. You'll get him next time."
Nice. Yeah. Give me a charisma with advantage.
Oh. 15.
Okay. Yeah. He appreciates it. This guy turns around and he sees that people were watching, and he's surprised. He kind of is taken aback, and then he blushes a little bit and he gives a wave and he begins to exit. Note that he exits not from the direction that you came from. It seems, based on what you saw, that he did not win the battle. Watson is down below in his wheelchair. He's looking at the group of you kind of expectantly, but he doesn't raise his voice to say anything because you're a little far away.
We shall approach.
Okay, you do that. He wheels kind of over to meet you, and he engages with all of you. He says, "Welcome back. You all came here for round 2, I'm guessing. Thanks, by the way, for that errand you ran in New Mauville. I appreciate it."
Oh, actually, we wanted to ask you some questions about something that we learned recently.
Watson raises an eyebrow and he says, "So what kind of questions are we talking about?"
We made a new really, really cool friend. He might be an acquaintance of yours.
Watson says, "I'm not sure who you're talking about."
Mewtwo!
Yeah.
Okay.
Mewtwo.
Okay. Roll. Gosh, I don't know. Roll something. Roll a d20 and I'll figure it out.
16.
Watson says, "You mean the legendary Pokemon from Kanto, Mewtwo? Is that who you're talking about?"
Yeah.
Indeed.
He says, "What do you mean, my friend? I've never interacted with that Pokemon in my life, and I've lived a long time." Wahaha.
Does he actually laugh like that?
He
does,
laughs
yeah.
like wahahaha. Yeah, that's how he laughs.
He's like, oh,
Yeah, just like that.
Well, Mewtwo seems
well-
to have some memories that you may or may not have
Right.
been involved in. Who were the other people?
Told us that you were involved in some research on infinity energy.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, you say infinity energy, and Watson's jovial smile turns to like a solemn, expressionless face, and it's almost like the white beard hair on his face also begins to droop. And he says, "Why did you come here to ask me about this?"
We've had some
Oh.
run-ins with Team Energy lately, and it appears that they may be using that research to power their various activities, including capturing and using Mewtwo against us and the people of Hoenn.
Watson says, "Oh, that's not my life anymore, and I didn't have any determination on what happened with that research. There's a reason why I quit that project, you know."
And we're not saying that you did. Like, we're not like coming here to blame you or anything. We just want to get as much information as we can to help stop it or something. Make it less infinite? I don't know.
Watson says, "Well, I'm guessing you've got good intentions. Y'all defeated me in battle at the gym, and the truth is, I can only give you anecdotally what I remember from decades ago. The project claimed all my research, all my documents. I don't have any actual data."
Honestly, something is better than nothing.
He kind of wheels in place a little awkwardly in his wheelchair as if to suggest that he is uncomfortable or impatient. He says, "Well, what do you want to know? What can I give you?"
you happen to know like the purpose of the research? Like, obviously, you were researching infinite energy, but to what end were they looking for?
He is kind of like fiddling his hands with nervous energy, and he says, "Listen, I was younger. I was put on part of a team, and to clear things up, it's called infinity energy, not because it is limitless. Well, perhaps it is. I never finished that part of my research, but it's not just something that goes on forever. It's the description of energy, bioenergy, that is created by Pokemon, and we were assigned to research it, and we were given some strange instructions from stakeholders who were anonymous, and it just got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore, and he just decides to not divulge any more information. He says, "This is tough for me to dig up. This is far in my past. I want to help you out, but you gotta let me know what you're looking for." He adds,
Well, gang, what are we looking for?
he also adds, "If you really want that data, you're gonna have to go find it, and I'm afraid it's not gonna be easy to get."
Oh, where is it?
He kind of wheels to look directly at Elodie and makes piercing eye contact, and he says, "All my research was left at C. Mauville."
The Mauville?
He says, "That's right. An abandoned research facility just to the southwest of Slateport City."
Mm.
Might not have time for that.
It is pretty far away. I don't know how possible it would be within the time that we need to do that.
Watson nods as if he somehow understands. He says, "Listen, from what I found out, infinity energy in its natural state in the natural world is a powerful and a force for good. Part of why I abandoned this project is that it seemed that the natural world was trying to be exploited for some other gain, and in ways that just didn't feel right to me, didn't sit right in my gut. So that's when I terminated my position."
Do you know which team was having you do the research? Was it Aqua or Magma?
Watson,
If you remember.
Watson shakes his head and he says, as I said, all the stakeholders, the investors, they were anonymous. I'm not sure who we were working for, but the ilks of them sounds familiar. But at the same time, I met those guys, Maxie and Archie, and part of me thinks that they care too much about ecology in the world to have been invested in the type of research that we were doing.
You happen to know, remember who you worked with?
Watson
as
nods.
colleagues?
Watson says, yeah, absolutely. My colleague, good friend of mine, we don't catch up enough, Dr. Takao Cosmo, very talented scientist, and Stern, our manager, our group leader.
You haven't caught up with them in a long time, so you wouldn't happen to know where they are up to now. So, I would assume, right?
Roll a persuasion.
Persuasion. 17.
Yeah, 17's pretty good. Watson says, I know Cosmo's doing just fine. I think he's working for a right of learning that popped up recently. We've been getting those facilities all over the region. I think it's great. It's great for all the trainers. It's just great for building community. Stern, I don't care what that guy is doing. He always said that he wanted to retire and work in the shipyard, but I got nothing to do with that guy.
From what we heard, it seems like they were using infinity energy with these plates that are connected to each of the types of Pokemon. Do you remember anything having to do with those?
One more persuasion, please.
That was a natural one.
He says,
Never punished.
He says, that's far too sensitive of a topic to give you any information on. I'm sorry.
Understandable.
Speaking of, Gimli, roll a history.
Oh, good thing I'm so good at history. Just kidding. It's an int skill. 2.
2. Yeah. You notice that when he denies Elodie, he kind of looks at Gimli in a familiar way, but you can't really divulge anything from that at all.
That's strange.
Yes.
Does he think we don't know a lot about plates and stuff?
Probably not. Because he doesn't have any knowledge that we have, plates. We can maybe convince him with our information that we do have about plates. But
yeah, you're welcome to keep trying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull at Cindy and stare off into the distance and be like, I carry with me the aspect of flame.
Hey, charisma, please.
Aspect of flame.
11.
Watson kind of disregards you. It doesn't seem like these words mean particularly anything to him, and that you're just having an anime moment. He doesn't consider anything of it.
Do we
just
show
have an
him?
anime moment.
Like how we were told to never show them to anyone ever, and then ever since then we've been like, hey, you want to see our Atlas Stone? And
Dude, is it so cool?
That is
That's a-
true.
Don't show anyone anything. Don't know who's a bad guy, who's a good guy. Oh,
But
by the
he's
way, here, look
not-
at this cool thing though.
I mean, he's really insistent that that's not his life anymore, so I think he can be trusted.
but it used to be,
So what's he gonna do? Go be evil again?
Truth be told, Red's kind of a dick anyway, so I don't care if he told us not to show anybody.
That's fair.
He's a bit of an ass.
Just stupid, no words having guy.
He doesn't even
I really
talk.
have beef with Red.
I punched him.
You
I
kind of
stand by
stinky.
that.
You did.
Oh.
You sure did.
Is any of this
I like to think
aside
we're having this
spoken?
conversation. in
Or
front of Watson.
yeah, I just want to ask that. Is there any conversation that you were doing that is in front of him?
Maybe it starts off we're just whispering to ourselves, and then it's well, I punched Red in the face, and I stand by that.
Okay. Yeah, no need to roll. There's kind of a change of expression when Red is mentioned.
What kind of change of expression?
Recognition, familiarity, again, kind of eyeing up and down Gimli a little bit.
Man, what does he know about Gimli?
He knows about Gimli because Gimli was with Red.
Yes. He gave me the information about Gimli.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so he probably maybe knows about Red's whole thing.
He might have been the one who had the zippy zappy plate
Oh.
and gave it to Red and Gimli. Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a zippy zappy guy.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, we can ask him
Ooh.
directly about that.
Go for it. Who's asking?
You're a zippy zappy guy.
He's
Watson.
drunk.
Guilty as charged.
No, he doesn't know what you're talking about, but he addresses Cindy and he says, "Go on."
Somebody should take over.
Is that the whole
Zippy says
statement?
something
You're a
unhinged.
zippy zappy guy.
I'm hoping somebody
Elodie
else
risen.
like.
We actually did catch up with Red recently, as you may have overheard, and he directed us to Gimli's son Gimli, who actually gave us
A zippy zappy thing.
a zippy zappy thing that maybe you previously had and gave to Red.
Watson changes expression again, and now he looks a little frustrated or disappointed. He looks at Gimli and he says, "That man, that champion promised me that he would keep the stewardship of that artifact safe and to himself. Why do you all have it?"
Oh no.
I'll pull out
'Cause
the
we're
Atlas
responsible?
stone.
Yeah.
Is this
I will like set my bag down on the ground and like have another anime moment and be like, not so long ago, I was given a great responsibility. And I just like pull the Atlas stone out of my bag.
Yeah, another change of expression for Watson. His eyes kind of light up with wonder. A part of him seems like he feels younger. He sits up in his wheelchair a bit and he scoots forward and he says, "Is that what I think it is? Can I see it?"
Do we feel safe handing it to him? I mean, how far is he gonna go? He's in a wheelchair.
Damn.
Fucking rocking wheelchairs out of there.
Yeah, and then the Dr. Robotnik suit comes out.
I was the big bad evil guy all along.
Yeah. Up to you.
Do we trust him?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hi.
I hand it to him.
Okay. He holds it delicately, like a passionate researcher would coming across a rare find. He holds it and he looks it over and he says, "So it was true." And he has there's a kind of a conclusion or satisfaction about him that he can finally lay a part of him to rest. He looks it over and is prepared to hand it back, and he's smiling.
I will take it back.
Yeah, you receive it back. It's his inhibitions regarding you have basically vanished at this point. He says, "Yes, it's true. Part of the reason why I left, or I should say I was terminated, is because I took off with one of the artifacts. I took off with what was known as the Zap Plate. We were conducting research on infinity energy and how it comes from Pokemon naturally, but also an incredible amount is stored within these artifacts, of which we assumed existed at least a dozen. So, doing this research, we were observing wild Pokemon and their interactions with this, and it was just so natural and pure, and it brought so much comfort and stability to the wild Pokemon. And then it was when the extraction of the energy began, when we brought technology involved, and they asked us to start, and he kind of stumbles on his words, and he says, the things that they were trying to do with this energy, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. Anyways, I took the Zap Plate. I took off for a while, laid low, and then I just committed my life to the gym, and I hid the Zap Plate away in the Fallville crawlway where no one would find it. I eventually found that I had a whole community of Pikachu move in, and it was the most fascinating thing happened. When they would interact with the artifact that I had stored away, they would produce their own artifacts of their own, these small yellow spheres, and they would carry them around with such pride and such joy, and it was just perfect. And then that champion came around, and he said he needed it. I told him I didn't know what he was talking about, and then he showed me his Pikachu, and I thought, well, there's no better place for this to go. So I trusted him, and I trusted the young man who was with him, and he looks at Gimli again, and he's making the acknowledgement that, yes, he did tell you where Red and Gimli were. And he says, I was hoping to leave it all behind me, just put all this pressure in the hands of a champion. And, well, now that I know that's with you all, I still hope that Pikachu is around. I was really impressed with its power. But that all to say, thank you for showing me that artifact. It brings me great comfort and solace knowing that not only that it exists, but it's not in the hands of anyone who would be misusing it.
And we will protect it, and we will protect your Zap plate.
Mm-hmm.
So there's others like this out there. Is what you're saying?
Watson
I
says,
thought he meant plates.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he meant the stone.
no, he was speaking of plates specifically.
Watcha.
Because
He
we
seems-
have
Go on.
3
Yeah.
3.
fire,
Oh, yeah,
plant,
Fire, electric.
Yeah, we
Zap.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, Watson has kind of removed all of his reservations about the lot of you, and he's pretty engaged. He turns his left shoulder and he looks down and he says, I've got another challenger coming soon. Thanks for the visit. Is there anything else that I can offer for you?
What do we think, gang? You all right?
I think. I mean, he's probably got all we can from him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we should do is tell him to be safe, because if he's worked on this stuff before, Energy probably knows who he is. So
Yeah, just be
stay
careful.
safe.
Watson lets out a hearty chuckle. He says, "Wah, you've got nothing to worry about. I can fend for myself. I've been doing it for a long time, but I appreciate you thinking about me."
Right, and enjoy your gym challenge.
He gives you all a thumbs up and a wink, and he spins around in the wheelchair, and he starts to move towards the door to greet the challenger. Do you all stick around to watch, or do you exit?
What do you want to do, gang?
We can go.
Okay.
Someone has reversed the treadmill, the moving walkway and escalator that was in the Victor's exit. And since you all have badges, you're welcome to exit that way. So you do so. You descend on down, and you're on your way out of the gym. I'm going to take a moment and check in with our other party member, so please bear with us. Hello.
Hello.
You're having some bro time with Gimli. I would like 2 D20 rolls, please. Just straight D20s.
Coming right up. 9 and an 18.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, time's passing. You know, the sun is starting to set a little, and you're feeling relaxed. You're feeling good. You feel like you expressed a lot, very therapeutic, spending time with Gimli. The fire's going. You feel very cozy. Being that this is the house that old people live in, it's like very kind of comforting to be here. And Gimli just kind of is being a bro. He asks, so before you got into all of this, what did you do? What did you have a job?
Yeah. Just office worker, insurance claims kind of stuff.
He gives a
Nothing
chuckle.
really too exciting.
He gives a chuckle and he says, "Do you miss it?"
Nah, not really. Not at all, no.
He says, "You know, my parents have always taken care of me, and I was really grateful that I was able to go on an adventure. You know, pretty young, it wasn't that long ago, but I feel like I've learned a lot, and it was very fortunate to meet a former champion who took me under his wing, and it's been quite the journey. Although I still miss my partners." And he kind of looks like longingly at the only Pokeball he has, and then he gazes to the southwest longingly.
Yeah, buddy, we got to get those back for you.
He nods and he says, "Yeah, we gotta. I just hope that they weren't taken."
So Red gave you a quest in the desert, correct?
Gimli nods. He says, "Yeah, Route 111."
Do you know what it's pertaining to?
He says, "I'm not quite sure, but," and he like feels in his pockets and checks his bag. He says, "Oh, that's right. I handed it off. I understand that there's some sort of puzzle that's been needing to be solved. That's pretty much the only download I got from Red. And we have these puzzle pieces. And I know that when we split up and I went to Granite Cave, Red told me that he was going to go get one from the president of the Devon Corporation. I don't know why they have one, but I understand he was successful, and we just got to go figure out what this puzzle's all about."
Yeah, I'm no good with puzzles, brother.
Gimli laughs and he says, "Me neither. I was kind of hoping that my dad would be able to help me figure it out." Is there any other like kind of specific questions you want to ask Gimli, or is you just going to keep shooting the shit?
Hypothetically, would you want to move to Route 111 with this quest, or would you want to go get your Pokemon back first?
Gimli will make a roll. Gimli says, well, if I'm with the likes of you and my dad and the other people you're traveling with, I think we'll be okay. I think it's more important that we just get it over with. This is... Red can be cryptic, and as you know, he doesn't talk a lot, but I understand that this part of our quest is important to, all of this that's been happening, right? It seems pretty serious, so I'm sure my Pokemon are okay. I know they can take care of themselves, and it's probably more important that we do this.
I mean, I don't know if he was like sipping on some tea or something, but he
Sure.
just like nods his head and then takes a sip of whatever drink he has.
Yeah. Is Schmidt full HP?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't even been looking at Schmidt's HP.
Okay.
It was at 46 out of 80.
All right.
I
Yeah,
did
you
not
can
add the short rest to that though.
That's fine. I just, based on your roles in the conversation, you can full heal yourself if you like.
Okay.
I also want to offer temporary HP equal to a third of what you already have.
Ooh.
A third of your total.
Okay.
Your body and mind are healing quite a bit.
We round down. So
Yes.
25?
Yeah, always truncate.
Okay.
Yeah, 25 sounds good.
I'm just going to put 80 plus 25.
Okay.
That's my health total.
Yep. Bro time with Gimli. Going pretty well. And we'll go back to the group. Gamers. Elodie, Cindy, Gimli. You all exit the gym. The sun is starting to set. It's a gently breezy kind of night in Mauville. People are getting out of work. They're walking around. You can see that there's quite a bit of a commotion still at Sylph Company, if not more than when you were there before. And Elodie, roll me a history.
19?
Yeah, you don't know where Faye is. That is for sure. Whether or not that's a problem to you is fine, but that is something you've observed.
She's probably fine.
She's
She's
a
an
whole
adult.
ass grown ass woman.
Yeah, we're not really responsible for her.
That's fair.
And she theoretically knows how to get back to the berry farm.
Right, yeah.
But what if
Not
something
really a
happened to her?
complicated route.
What?
So what if something happened to her? I'm not there, but
What if something happened? Listen,
just throwing
she's
seeds of doubt.
fine.
She's not a problem.
Again,
she's
she's-
not a problem. She's not
Yeah,
a problem.
she's not really hard. Like, if she gets in
God
trouble,
damn,
like,
that's
yeah,
cold.
that sucks. But, like,
Sure you're not the ice trainer?
Oh,
Schmidt isn't
I'm
here.
not stable enough to be an ice trainer.
Schmidt is not here.
Schmidt is not here.
ice
He is,
trainer Cindy AU.
he is somewhere else.
Was
You just
it
haven't
a
used
Alolan Vulpix?
Oh, that's
Right.
cute,
Alolan
actually.
Ninetales?
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
vibe.
Ooh, AU Cindy.
Cindy's evil twin.
Yeah.
No, that's your rival group, guys. It's got the icy version of Cindy. It's got a trainer named Legolas. It's got some other things that are funny. Anyways, evening in Mauville City. What's up? What's next for 3/4 of the Paco?
We
should-
want to take a peek at where NRG movie blimp is.
Oh, you want to
Yes.
pull
We
out
should
the Atlas Stone?
probably
Just like
Find
a
a secluded
little-
place to do that.
Okay.
It's like an alley next to the gym. We could just slip
Yeah.
into.
Yeah. Give me one person roll me stealth, and you don't have Schmidt, so whoever wants to volunteer.
Cindy is so sneaky.
I'm going to have
Never
a combat roll against this, which I will not announce.
You just did.
No,
Oh.
like, I'm not going to announce the result.
14.
Okay.
Cindy, so sneaky.
You tuck behind like a little alley, little corridor that separates the gym from the next building over. What exactly are you doing?
Checking the location of the who's touching the Atlas Stone.
Let's look at the list again. Who did we have do it last time? I think I had Key Lime do it last time. If you want me to do that again.
Sick. I keep like the Atlas Stone like real close to my chest. That way, even if somebody saw us tuck into an alley, they wouldn't see the Atlas Stone. Does that make sense?
Key
Yeah.
Lime.
Yeah.
No.
Touch
So it's key lime time.
Yeah.
And key lime is what typing again?
Very psychic.
Thank you. Two areas illuminate. One, the uppermost part of the Atlas Stone, which you have all been deeming as the moon, gets a little a light on it, naturally occurring. And the Atlas Stone also illuminates in the Hoenn Ocean, as it usually does. This illumination is, if the map is to be accurate to modern-day Hoenn, pretty far to the east, south of what you assume to be Moss Deep. Another series of islands. There, it seems to be in place here.
Okay. Well, they didn't go to the farm, so All good
We're
with
good.
me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What was next on our list?
Next on our list was doing something about the Mewtwo armor.
Ah, yes. Is there a dumpster in this alley?
Roll perception.
3.
Okay. You look around. You see not a dumpster, but just like one of those rolling trash cans that like people put out on the street to be collected. But like this street isn't really conducive to a truck because it's kind of a courtyard. So you're wondering what it's doing out here. But you find a trash can, not a dumpster.
Good enough. Toss it in.
Okay. You open it up. Who's opening it? Who's opening the trash can?
We're gonna find a zigzag going in the
do it.
trash.
Okay. Gimli.
Yeah.
Okay. Gimli, roll a dex check, please.
Dex check. Dex check.
Trash.
Trash. 6.
Right as your hand touches the lid of the trash can, you hear from the inside of it a sound like, and as you open the lid, out floats a dual-headed gaseous purple Pokemon that is oozing smoke. As the smoke billows out of the trash can, everyone needs to make a dex save to not inhale these toxic fumes, please. I'm looking for a DC 10 here.
Nat 20.
Very good.
Baby.
10.
14.
Okay, very good. You all can withstand this billowing smoke. This Pokemon that is levitating and has pained-looking faces. It looks a little startled, a little worried. It gazes around and it begins to glow. Does anyone do anything about this with a reaction?
Begins to glow,
doing?
motherfucker.
It's glowing.
Is he-
Exploding. He's exploding, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Throw the armor at him and run away.
Oh,
Good idea.
Is that what we're locking in? I'll give everyone one reaction to do something.
now I'm down for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So Cindy's throwing the armor and running, and everyone else is just running.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you run north further down the alley or south towards the courtyard?
Probably towards the courtyard, right? Get out of the alley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Roll a dex for throwing of the armor.
Come on, Cindy. Don't fail me now. Shoot. Just straight dex?
Yep. You can do strength.
9.
Do you prefer that?
No.
Okay. So 9, okay. Cindy more or less like panically tosses the armor, does not collide with this wheezing at all. Now, everyone, I need either dex or strength. Could be athletics. I'd justify acrobatics if you have it to escape.
Cindy has
21.
athletics.
Oh, sorry. Your threshold here is DC 15. 15.
Brick. Yeah. Cindy got a 15
Okay.
with her athletics.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Very nice. Cindy drops the armor and everyone begins to run, and the wheezing goes, wheezing! And boom, big old explosion in the alley. It leaves like these kind of soot marks and impacts on either side of the buildings in the alley. And you can also see that the armor, as you turn around to see the explosion, because you aren't cool enough to just fully walk away from it, the armor is more or less totally destroyed with the wheezing explosion. There's some piles of metallic dust left in the alley. The trash can is like toppled over. It's got a big old hole in it. And somewhere nearby, there's like a fire alarm going off. But that situation is now more or less resolved. Some attention is drawn to all of you exiting the alley. An old person is like, troublemaking teens, which might flatter Gimli a little, but they think that it's just some miscreants off to some vandalism. All in all, Mauville City, explosions happen all the time. No one's particularly worried about it.
Yeah, explosions happen all the time in Mauville, for sure.
Yeah.
You also see from the gym a pair of Pokemon that look to be piles of nuts and bolts and magnets float out of the door. And they go over to the wall, specifically the wall of the gym where the wheezing exploded, and they're doing some maintenance. They're like buffing out the chrome metal of the wall and trying to tidy it up. It seems like this may or may not be a fairly regular occurrence, and they are maintaining the building. What's next for the 3/4 of the Paco? You've destroyed the old armor. Very interesting.
One way to handle it.
Right. Now trash. We got rid of it.
Something that just occurred to me is that Cindy, you still have Trubbish.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna maybe stop by the police station and
Turn him in.
turn him in?
Oh, but he's a little guy.
That's fair.
What if,
He was
like, okay,
abandoned.
so he was abandoned in the Aqua hideout. Aqua?
Magma,
Magma hideout?
right?
He could have been there a while. What if like his previous owner is no longer with us?
Maybe you should talk to Trubbish.
All right, are we in a safe place to talk to Trubbish?
You're kind of just in the central Mauville courtyard.
I don't think anyone's gonna like be weird about us talking to Trubbish.
Okay. Cool. I will let Trubbish out.
You do that. Roll a con save for Trubbish.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you send out Trubbish. A beam of light comes out from the dust-healed Pokeball you retrieved from the old magma hideout. Trubbish lands on the ground and does not vomit. Looks up at Cindy and goes, "Blah,
Hi, buddy.
blah."
Do you know who your owner is?
Roll a Pokemon handling, please.
18.
Trubbish looks at Cindy and goes, "Blah," and waddles forward quickly and hugs Cindy's ankle.
Oh. But do you remember anything about who had you before I found you?
Roll another Pokemon handling.
22.
Trubbish, while holding Cindy's ankle, looks up at Cindy and then just continues holding Cindy. Roll a con save, Cindy.
19.
Okay, pretty good. You can feel some like caustic properties from the contact with your skin, but you're a hardy adventurer. You've been in many different climates. You are able to withstand it. Your sock may be experiencing some difficulty, though. Your high Pokemon handling roll suggests to you that Trubbish does in fact remember, but doesn't want to remember.
Oh, that's sad.
All right. So no police trip visit.
Yeah, let's try to not get him back to his previous owner.
So you're my buddy now? For real, for real? I asked you like finger guns.
Down to your foot when it's being hugged by Trubbish.
Yes.
Trubbish looks happy to have some interaction with someone who he finds very sweet.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Do my balls start glowing?
Sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, take that all in.
What?
Just ask if your balls are glowing.
For one, sorry.
You should really see a doctor about that.
True. That's a serious side effect.
I don't know. I've never had balls.
Okay.
Okay.
One, no, they don't usually glow in this. When with the situation you're asking about, they usually wiggle. This Pokemon is registered to a different trainer.
Mm. Oh shit! How do we fix this?
If only someone in your party has any experience or knowledge about what it's like to use a Pokemon that belongs to a different trainer. Belongs
That would
in
actually be so
quotes,
crazy.
actually.
Oh, squids. Not squids. Squids, but Schmidt.
Interesting.
Right. Well, I think
Oh,
unless we want to make a side trip to New Mauville to get the Creative Leaf Layer, I think that layer?
New
Flyer.
Mauville? What'd you say? New Mauville?
we also wanted to
isn't
see
that-
if
There's
maybe
a
the
third
Pokemon
Mauville.
Center.
You've been to New Mauville.
Right.
Yeah, that's where the
what I'm
Credilli
saying.
Flyer
That's where the
is.
Credilli Flyer
Oh, I
is.
thought you were talking about something else. Okay, apologies.
We want to, on our list, we had check a Pokemon Center, see if they're playing the news.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, let's do that.
And okay,
Okay.
where's the Pokemon Center?
You're very nearby. Quick walk, less than a minute. You all go?
Yeah.
I'll also return Trubbish as to not get acid burns on my ankle.
Okay. You do that. Trubbish doesn't seem to mind. You all get over to the Pokemon Center. The first thing that you notice when you get in is that The main Pokemon like healing machine is unplugged and just stowed to the side of the room. It's not being used at all. And you see a very well-oiled machine of a traditional healing facility. There are nurses running around with round pink normal type Pokemon, and they are collecting trainers' Pokemon and performing actual medical operations on them. It seems like the automatic healing facilities of this Pokemon Center have not been working.
Right.
Because the system is down.
The Pokemon Center, it seems busy, but also seems like they're handling it quite well. There are trainers sitting around. None of them are particularly disturbed. You do recognize the gentleman whose gym challenge was just lost. He is sitting around in here, waiting for his Pokemon to be healed. There is a TV.
What's on the TV?
There is a nature documentary documenting the lives of pachyderm-shaped steel-type Pokemon as they live in the Galar region. Anyone know what a pachyderm is?
An elephant.
Nice. Very good. Yes.
I think rhinoceros are also maybe classified
may be.
similarly.
Yeah, they could be. This is a documentary on Kufant and Kaparaja. I'm assuming the Paco is just watching it. What are you guys doing?
Is there like a receptionist that's like not actively doing healing or anything?
Everyone seems pretty busy, unfortunately, but you're welcome to wait in line to speak with someone, or perhaps there's a different alternative.
Is there a remote?
Roll a perception.
19.
You do not locate a remote, but you can see by looking at this TV that is wall mounted that there are buttons on the side of it.
Buttons we can push. Let's push them.
All right.
Maybe we should like let some, but like.
Nah, we could push buttons.
I don't want to upset. I don't want to get kicked out.
Up to you guys.
If you want to, I'll point them out. If Elodie wants to push buttons,
I'll push buttons.
Cool. Elodie, you do that. You're gonna press up or down?
Up.
Okay. You press the button. You hear someone who's sitting in the lobby say, "Hey, I was watching that," and then it changes to a news segment featuring a familiar reporter who you know as Gabby. Do you all tune in?
Yeah.
Gabby, it's Gabby, guys.
You see reporter Gabby with a microphone on what you recognize as to be the sandy beaches of Dewford. You know that because you spent so much time there, but also because in the background you see Corsola everywhere, strewn about. Some of them are just waddling around without a care in the world, and some of them are knocked out. Gabby reports, the better part of a day later, it seems like the siege on Dewford is finally coming to a close, thanks to the valiant efforts of the Elite Four, being Flannery, Wally, Phoebe, and Steven. The threat from Team Neo Rocket Galactic seems to have been quelled for now. As you can see in the background, 2 different blimps are leaving. They are flying away to the east. Gabby says, but not without great cost. The town of Dewford is more or less totally ravaged. Very few structures remain, and the total number of casualties and injuries at this time is currently unknown. The community is coming together to establish shelters, and we have outside help coming from both Petalburg and Slateport. And you can see in the background, off the coast, some large freight ships are delivering what appears to be medical supplies, temporary structures, etc. Everyone roll me a d20 on this scene.
4.
4.
2 4s and a 16.
Yep.
Elodie 16 beat the threshold that I wanted, which was 15. As it pans to these freight ships, you can see that the dock of Dewford Town is more or less like totally destroyed. But despite that, tied to a rope is none other than D's nuts.
These nuts.
And
Participating in being a boat.
and a familiar masculine frame is like reclining atop it with a flaming slug Pokemon, looks absolutely exhausted. But D's Nuts is one of the only vessels that remain in the bay.
He fucking did it.
Brendan's
Sorry.
Okay.
And he protected the boat.
Oh my god. I'm gonna cry.
You need to write him a letter.
Well, let's go write him a letter. Yeah.
Gabby continues to report. Not going to RP it directly, but Dewford is in bad shape. It's going to take some effort, but thankfully the community is here and they're all pitching in. Gabby speaks to how the motives of the organization are unknown and how this is like a serious threat and they don't know where they're going next. And, any statements from the champion have not come out as far as how to deal with this. And they're more or less just hoping that this activity stops or some powerful trainers decide to do something about it.
Should we put it back to the nature documentary?
Sure. I'll put it back.
Okay. You do so. There's scattered applause and cheering from the people waiting, just like quiet. They're like, yeah, woo, like because they're excited to see the Kufant again. There is one Kufant who is struggling to reach a berry in a tree, and then a larger, older Kaparaja comes and plucks it down for it. And there's an excited little squeal, and that makes everyone in the waiting room happy. They are glad that you changed it back. Trainers Pokemon in the meantime are being called out. They're like, listing out, sir, you're right on, and busy Pokemon Center. It's, starting to hit nighttime. What's next for the Paco?
Should we see if the post office is open and then head back to the berry farm?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Okay. Y'all head out looking for the post office. You can retrace your steps. You've only been in certain corners of Mauville at this point. You catch a whiff of Gerba's gloom, but you cannot see where it is. But this is around the corner where, they like to hang out. There's a young man with crazy looking eyes that is walking around seemingly in circles in the streets, being followed by a small bipedal gray cat-looking Pokemon. He's kind of murmuring to himself, and you kind of have to awkwardly cross his path to get to the post office, but you're able to do so. And you see Milo, the post office worker, just starting to close up. He exits one of the double doors, and he pulls out a set of keys to seemingly lock them. Do you interrupt him or do anything about that? Also, the strange man who's pacing, you can also interact with him if you like. They're near each other.
I mean, I suppose we can come back later. Seems like
We
they're
can
closing
see
up.
if he'll let us write it and be like, you can mail it in the morning. We just want to write it and make sure that it's here ready to go or something.
Sure, yeah, we can do that. Ask him.
Okay. Yeah. You can ask him that. He says, "Oh, I'm closing up for the day, but this is a 24-hour service. You can just drop your letter in the slot there." And there's a slot in the wall that leads to a compartment, but the compartment door is damaged. You can see through it, and there's literally just a hoot sitting in there, just waiting for people to drop mail in. So he gestures to that and he says, "Yeah, this is a 24-hour operation. You can just drop that in whenever." And he seems eager to get home.
Do we have
Okay.
paper?
We
Are
have...
Hoot as slow as Harry Potter owls at delivering mail? That's kind of wild. That the Hoot is the mail delivery guy.
For after hours, of course.
I guess that's fair.
That's the night guy.
He's the night guy.
Do we have Sam's journal?
Someone does.
I feel like Cindy has it.
Rip a
Just
page
rip,
out the back.
just rip a page out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just-
Okay.
It's fine.
there's some
It's
blank
fine.
pages, dude.
Yeah, there's probably some
blank
that
pages.
aren't covered in blood.
That is correct. There's a few. Yeah.
One of the ones that does
The
have
blood-
blood on it.
The blood adds character.
He'll think it's really cool paper. It's just blood.
Hey, sorry for sending this on paper with my friend's blood on it. You understand.
You get it.
Okay, well, can rip paper out of the back.
Are you
Right.
composing a letter?
Yes, I
What-
will compose a letter.
What is your writing implement of choice?
Oh shoot, we need a pencil.
Not to get into the mundane parts of D&D, but
Was
We
there a
do.
pen or pencil left behind with Sam's notebook?
roll a investigation.
19.
Okay. Yeah, as you're flipping through the pages to find something to tear out, you do see a slim Silphco branded pen.
Heck yeah! Gimme.
Do you want to narrate what you are writing, or do you want to just write it down? Is it private? What's going on in Elodie's mind here?
Oh, good question. I probably should write an actual letter.
Dear
don't-
Brandon,
oh my God,
XO,
Jesus.
XO,
XO.
XO.
Thanks for saving these nuts. That's the whole letter. Dear Brendan, thanks for saving these nuts. XOXO Elodie.
That's very good.
That's
You're not gonna pour your heart out to him?
I feel like okay. I feel like we have to like save that for like in person. But like I do want to like make sure he's okay and that we appreciate him. And that we're sorry we abandoned Dewford. But it was because we wanted to not die and also save Mewtwo and also the world. Like, how do I express all of that, you know?
Just like that. I mean, if you actually want to write it later, that's fine. But I know that we are in a session, so you don't have to do it right now. But
right.
Just a general synopsis, and you also don't have to write it later. It's just whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. Then,
Do you want to tell him where we're at? Like, do you want to tell him that we're at the berry farm, or do you want to tell him we're close to Mauville? Like, how specific do you want to get?
Yeah, I can tell him we're east of Mauville, at Cindy's grandparents' berry farm.
Great.
We're sorry for leaving. This is where we are. Thank you for saving these nuts. We really appreciate it. And then I would also like to, if I could, have Cabbage scent it so that it smells really nice.
Oh, what scent?
What scent indeed?
What scent does he like?
I wish I knew that information. I should have asked him.
I mean, he does have a fire type. Maybe he likes, like, isn't there like a smoky man scent?
Smoky man scent.
I mean, that exists, certainly.
Googling smoky man scent.
Googling it as if you can get the result and smell it.
Man, I'm doing it.
I scratch and sniff my computer screen.
Yeah, exactly.
What are my results? Tell me, Ministry of Scent. Not blackmail.
Oh, God. That's funny, because you're also sending mail. So
Use that a lot.
Right. Blackmail?
Yeah. It's my favorite.
Dark sweet berry jam with bonfire smoke.
Bath and Body Works.
That's it.
That's it?
That's the smell.
Okay. Yeah.
The smell.
Cabbage produces it, no problem. Cabbage is powerful enough that she can produce basically any scent. The letter is encompassed by, becomes one with, infused. That's the word. Is infused with that scent. You don't have an envelope, but you are welcome to just kind of fold up the paper.
We'll just do that.
Okay.
Totally fine.
Do you drop it into the slot?
Yes.
Okay. You do that. It falls in the slot, and then there's kind of like a moment of silence, and then you hear a hoo-hoo, and the hoot-hoot picks it up in its beak, and the damaged door at the front of this post office just kind of creaks open, and hoot-hoot hobbles out on one foot, and it flies away. And just a moment later, it seems like a compartment from inside of that little chamber where the hoot-hoot came from opens up, and a new hoot-hoot comes and replaces it.
Sick.
I love that. All right, time to go back, I guess.
Okay. Back to where? Where's back?
The berry farm.
Okay. Y'all start to head east. It's getting quiet in Mauville. I mean, it's still a city, but it's a weekday, so people aren't really like super out and about. There's a Pokemon, a stony-looking rhinoceros that's carrying a couple people on its back, trying to get somewhere, leaving kind of like thuds as it walks. You walk past the courtyard. You continue heading east. The moon is starting to rise a bit, and there's the sound of bug-type Pokemon chirping in the early evening. You get to the bridge that crosses the threshold between the next route and Mauville City. Do you all get on the bridge and cross it?
Where's New Mauville in relation to where we are?
It is, if you jumped in the water right now and you followed the current, it is like under Cycling Road that is south of Mauville.
Okay. Yeah, we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah. Can I get a perception from Gimli, just for fun?
Sure. Crit.
Very good. As you're crossing the bridge, you see an unusual floating zigzag red stripe blocking your path that you would have walked right into if you hadn't had such a keen eye. Do you do anything about this?
It's a floating red stripe. How close is it?
About 5 feet away.
Oh.
A zigzag red stripe?
It seems like circular in nature, and it is stationary, hovering a foot or two off the ground.
It's my fucking
What do we
dude.
do about that?
Is it a
I
zigzagoon?
fucking love this guy.
It is not a zigzagoon. In fact, there seems to be no creature necessarily, just an unusual zigzag rain that is red and just in the air over the bridge. You could.
Can I jump up and grab it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like floating. I mean, it is floating, but it's not like above you. Like, you would actually probably reach down and grab it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Roll a dexterity. I'm looking for 16 or greater.
17.
Great. Yeah, you grasp to the rein. You try to grab it, but instead you grab along the sides of it, like your hands don't make contact with the zigzag, and then there's like a writhing, and you hear like a blah, blah kind of sound, and there's something that's trying to swipe at you, but you don't know what it is because you don't see it.
What is going on?
It's my fucking dude. That's what's going on.
What do you mean?
A red zigzag.
Who is he?
I can't believe y'all don't know this.
Is it a Kecleon? Because they can be like invisible.
Oh. What is he doing here?
Gimli is holding a largely invisible creature who is thrashing about.
Mm-hmm.
Any plans
The
with
guy. Steal stuff from his shop.
It's a monster house.
it?
What
Just-
is it?
Just in the middle of a bridge.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
Are you just going to keep holding it and carry on your merry way?
It's just Ghibli picks it up and tucks it under his arm and just keeps going.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I
Let's go.
talk to
Yeah, sure.
Hey, hello.
You can do that. I'm going to make you make 2 strength checks until you can get back to the
Yeah,
berry
no problem.
farm to manage this beast.
Okay. First is a 28.
Mm-hmm.
Next is a 23.
Okay, great. You are strong, so it makes sense. Yeah, you have no issue with this. Also, not sure what the motivation is necessarily to carry this thing around, but whatever's going on, you're doing it. Yeah, you get the idea that you are carrying a creature that is larger than this red stripe. Your rolls are high enough where you can suggest that it probably has a bipedal body because you feel thrashing that like is attempting to scratch you from appendages that are hands and feet. But yeah, you just carry this thing all the way to the berry farm.
Yeah.
Can I talk to him?
Yeah, what do you want to say?
Hi, little buddy. How's it going?
Roll a Pokemon handling.
+5, 18.
Yeah. It slows its thrashing as you approach the berry farm. It's this whole time you were walking, Gimli just casually picked up this thing and you all kept moving, and the whole time there's like a kind of sound as it is like trying to escape. But Cindy addresses it and it ends its camouflage. And before you see a bipedal green lizard with a red stripe across its body and a charming little face and a coiled tail. It stops thrashing, it looks at Cindy, and it sticks out a ton. Cindy, make a dex save.
Dex save? Is that just dex?
Yeah.
10.
10, nice. It latches right onto the strap of your bag with its tongue. It goes blap, and it just extends all the way to you, like longer than the length of its body. And it's like trying to pull your bag off your arm. It does not successfully do so, but there's like a tether between you and Gimli now as you are approaching the berry farm. And
You want to be my friend?
it just leaves its tongue on your shoulder.
Can I like shake its tongue like I'm shaking somebody's hand?
Yeah, it's another handshake, huh? Yeah, roll dexterity, I suppose. Yeah.
Sticky handshakes. Our
Yeah.
specialty.
Sticky handshake.
Not sticky handshakes, dude.
Name of the episode.
My dex is not so good. 7.
Yeah, it just feels weird and gross, and this thing is clearly like it's weird because it is uncomfortable to be in the situation, but it is comfortable in the strong arms of Gimli Lodestone. So like there's a dichotomy happening in this lizard's brain, but it doesn't feel like it's your friend.
I'm gonna attempt to burp it to see if it gets off of Cindy's backpack.
Yeah, strength that, please.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna pat it on the back like a little baby. That's a 22.
Yeah, you pat it maybe perhaps a bit harder than you were intending, but it does return the tongue to its mouth, and it coughs a little bit, and it is done struggling. It just is like, well, this is my life now, and it is being held by Gimli.
Yes, we have a new invisible farmer to keep Bud company.
You all approach the berry farm. Do you enter?
I kind of want to catch him.
That's fine.
up
Yeah, I'm
there,
bringing it
but
to you,
I'm
bud.
up there. I'm not there.
We'll keep him.
But if you're at the farm, I'll
I'll
bring it to you. Yeah, it's no problem.
I'm not
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
there. I'm not there. But
No, I know you seem really enthusiastic. That's why
Yeah.
I wanted to carry it along all the way back to the farm.
Oh no. Where's Schmidt?
Yeah, where's Schmidt?
So yeah, you guys are at the farm?
Yeah.
Yeah. You enter, and there you see Gimli and Schmidt all bundled up like some buddies. They got some blankets. They got some warm drinks. There's a fire going. They're sitting and looking very, very cozy.
Whoa. This is not what I was expecting at all.
Schmidt, welcome back to the party.
hell yeah.
We
Oh.
introduce him to our new friend.
Sleepover
Yep.
time?
Hell yeah.
Was Schmidt already snoozing by this point, or is he just here?
Do you want to be snoozing or no? If you don't want to decide, you can roll a con.
I'll roll a die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone call evens or odds.
Odds?
Cool. Schmidt's asleep.
Great.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys see Schmidt snoozing, and Gimli looks like he's pretty tired too. But yeah, there's like some snacks around. There's some empty dishes that used to have soup in them. And it's quite cozy and nice.
No nighttime karaoke party? I missed the last one.
I mean, no one said you can't.
It would just be kind of rude.
I'm sure whatever adventure he went on. Is Gimli asleep or?
Gimli's like groggy, but his eyes open when you enter. Schmidt is like sprawled out on the length of a couch, and Gimli is in like a comfortable looking recliner.
Ah, dang. I thought they were cuddled up together.
Oh.
I was like, Schmidtly real, Schmidtly real.
Schmidtly.
Schmidt's kind of, he's like almost fetal position sideways on the couch, and he's like still shaking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna be kind of
What's-
quiet, but I'll talk
what's
in
the-
a normal voice so you can hear me.
What's the bedroom situation in the berry farm?
There is the master bedroom, and then there is a proper guest bedroom, and then there is a room that has a like a folding bed that is supposed to be like an office, but people can sleep there. That's kind of how you split it up before. So, and then there's like the couch in the living room. So there's multiple sleeping spaces, at least 4.
There's like a sofa in the library, right?
Yeah, correct.
I think Schmidt
Mhm.
made the library, quote unquote, his room.
Okay.
Okay.
There's also a nest in the basement if anyone wants that.
So true.
But the basement's like sealed off.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, you haven't tried to enter, but yes, it is hidden more or less. And
It's doing a good job.
yeah. Any nighttime
what-
activities for the Paco?
I was gonna ask Gimli, what happened with him?
Gimli says, well, he went on a little personal adventure that didn't go quite his way, but he'll be all right.
Okay.
He's got a lot of mail at the post office.
And Gimli says,
Maybe
go on.
I was just gonna say maybe we wait on figuring that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Schmidt is kind of out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Gimli's vibing. With the Paco reunited, everyone gets together, including Gimli, to enjoy what is hopefully a leisurely night at the Berrymaster's farmhouse. Hello and thank you all for listening to the latest episode of Dunsparce and Drampa. I'd like to give an extra special thanks to our latest patrons. They are Hunter and Rin. If you are curious about becoming a patron yourself, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Dunsparce, where you can directly support the creation of the podcast and get access to lots of bonus features and content. Don't forget to pop in the Discord at discord.gg/Calyrex. Calyrex is spelled Calyrex, where you can chat with us and all the other listeners of the podcast about the podcast, Pokemon, gaming in general, and many, many other things. I hope everyone's summer is off to a great start. Those of you graduating from school, congratulations. We will see you for the next release on June 25th.
Oh?
Can I?
Yes?
I was going north.
Oh,
You remember because I did the loop around.
okay. Maybe a double Kira edit? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for...
Here, cut that out.
Yeah. Kira, just scrap this whole session, actually. Just take it all back.
Starting over.
Replace this one with episode 24.
Yeah.
Replace this one. Yeah.
Very good. No. Okay. Sir, you're right on, and they hand a Pokeball over, and oh God, Siri started searching for right on when I said that. Stop.
Right on this.
Serious, search for right on these nuts.
No, don't do that. Um,
Here,
busy,
put that in the
No,
episode.
don't do that.